Hello everyone, welcome. I think we're at 3, 4, 5-ish people so far, but maybe some more will pop up. Welcome to the Relai live stream. We have the whole team here in Switzerland. That's the first time that most of us, meet in the physical world. This is amazing. Starting like 1.5 years ago, Adam and I, kind of hacking around and trying to get an easy Bitcoin app out, and now fast forward 1.5 years, people around the world are actually working on this project and now meeting the first time here in Zurich, where it all started. And we want you guys, we want to give you guys a little opportunity to interact with us and maybe ask some questions. I will start with a little introduction about the project, really very concise, just for the ones who maybe do not know yet what we are doing. And then we would also like to take the opportunity to introduce ourselves real quick. Everyone will get 1 minute to introduce who he is, why he joined Relai, and what is he actually doing at Relai, what's his role. And then we would be happy to get some questions from you guys. If not, we would just hang out and talk for now. But if you have some questions, please ask. Don't hesitate. You can ask anything. We will either not answer or lie to you if we don't like the question, but you can ask anything you want. So let me start with the quick pitch of Relai. So Relai is the world's easiest Bitcoin investing app, made in Switzerland. We believe that Bitcoin is the best savings technology that there is in the world, and that everybody needs to have access to this. So we want to make it very easy and very frictionless for everybody, mom and dad, grandma, cousin, taxi driver, hairdresser, whoever wants to invest in Bitcoin should be able to do so very, very easily via smartphone app. Within 1 minute you should be able to set up your savings plan to buy, sell, send, receive, store, pay with your Bitcoin. So everything you want to do with Bitcoin out of one app, and you can already start directly from your bank account with $10 and without doing any registration. You don't even have to give us your name or upload any documents. It's really the easiest Bitcoin app that ever existed. That's what we do. And myself, I'm the co-founder and CEO of the company. I turned 29 in 2 months. My name is Julian Lineger. Here, from Zurich, studied business and psychology, and went on to create this company like 2 years ago. We started kind of to pursuing this. Before I was working a little bit in banking and management consulting, but I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. What my role is as a CEO is pretty easy. 3 things. I need to make sure that everybody is aligned with our vision. I need to make sure that the best people, the best talent are working on this project, and that I need to assure that we always have always have money on the bank, or at least money on, can also be Bitcoin, but unfortunately, this is maybe another topic for Maurizio, but no. So, vision, talent, and money. That's basically my job. And what's your job, Alan?
Yeah. Hi everyone, so my name is Alan. I work as a product manager, so I'm quietly responsible to checking out which feature we are going to implement into the Relai app in the future, so building a roadmap together with all the leadership guys, of course, with everyone of the team who brings input. Also, you community brings a lot of input to us, which is really, really important to us, as we are like a community project. We can only be the easiest if we hear from you what you guys like. So be open, share it, put it into the comments and all the stuff you like. We will happy to be answer to you. So that's my main goal to facilitate, to being the man in the middle of product, of business, of marketing, of course. So checking around what's going on the roadmap. So yeah, and of course, explaining what we want to build to the developers who can, because I cannot build, I cannot code, unfortunately. That's where Piyush steps in. So
hi, hello. Hi, my name is Piyush Gupta. I am from Delhi, India. I work as a full stack developer at Relai, and I basically build the app and the backend behind it. So, and why I joined Relai, of course, to pump Bitcoin. Yeah, that's it.
Very nice.
Yeah, welcome together. I'm Michael, the operations manager of Relai. I do everything. I help where I can, mostly the internal IT, HR, organizational stuff. Yeah.
And I'm Arsen. I do social media at Relai. I pretty much post funny pictures on Twitter, so that's my job. I'll also be moderating this. I mean, you can think of it as a team meeting. It's pretty laid back and casual. Your turn.
Great, that's awesome. My name is Benjamin. I'll be joining in January and super excited to support you guys. Like if you have any question regarding the app functionality, if something is not working, in support you will reach me and I'll be happy to answer and help you as best as I can.
Okay, I'm Maurizio. I'm the CFO and also responsible for legal, HR and operations, and that sounds perhaps a little bit boring, but it's important to keep especially the cash in our bank account and not going out. Same for the bitcoins, they should stay with us and not going out. No, I'm kidding. That's one part of the job, and especially our operations becomes even more important over the next couple of months, years, where we are rolling out so many new projects, new ideas, and we need to make sure that everything runs smoothly. Sergey?
Hello, my name is Sergey. I'm from Ukraine, but I live already 5 years in Germany. I work as a backend developer for our broker. That's it. Thank you. It's your turn.
All right. Hello, I'm Lucas, and I'm about to join the team. So this is like the first time that I meet anybody here on the team, either digitally or in real life. So I'm about to join the team soon. I'll be, my role is performance marketing manager, meaning I'll be trying to get as many people to hear about and onboard onto Relai, find the app in the App Store, download the app, make sure that everybody actually does the things they are supposed to do in the app, which is buy Bitcoin. And that's going to be my job.
Thank you. Hey everyone, Adam here, CTO and co-founder. So I'm handling everything that is basically tech related, which started with a simple mobile app, made relatively quickly. I guess we'll get back to this story later. And today we just grew to a super big tech project, and I'm trying to be around and manage all the tech part with the amazing team that we have here. Imo?
Thanks. Hi everyone. Is the camera on me? It is. Hey, there you go. My name is Imo. I'm the CMO. I'm from Vienna, and I come to Zurich once a month to meet with the leadership team. My job is, together with Julian, to think about the growth of the company in the medium and long term, and in the short term, to make sure that the marketing team, which is Arsen, Lucas, Anna, and Alex, who's watching us probably. Hey, Alex. To make sure that they have no distractions and they have everything they need to deliver, marketing magic.
Great. I'm Jose. I don't know if you can see me. I'm from sunny Los Angeles, USA. I'm a front-end developer from here at Relai. I'm in charge of basically making the app come to life. I work in the space between the designers and the back end, and basically implementing the features to the best of my abilities.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm Anna. I just recently joined the team, and I like to say that I'm here to make Relai pretty. So I'm the graphic designer, and yeah, I'm trying to capture everything that Relai stands for and bring it to you guys in a visible way, so everyone just immediately can grasp what Relai stands for. Yeah, and I think because in the beginning you said that we should also say why we joined Relai, and I feel like I can speak for everyone because we talked about this yesterday, and it's most of the part, the biggest part is the team, and we met for the first time, and yeah, it's just a really amazing team. So I think as a little wrap up for the team.
Awesome, well done guys. Cool. So with that, let's kick things off. Maybe we already have some questions, and then I think we can go from there. Arsen, what do you got from us?
Sure, I have some questions prepared that we got from Twitter earlier. So let's start with a question from Treasure. So how is everyone doing?
Great question.
Personally, I'm doing perfect. I'm totally not nervous.
A bit tired from the hike, maybe, but that's fine.
Yeah, we did a 3-hour hike, and some of us almost didn't make back.
It was just a walk. Hi.
How's everyone else doing?
Good.
Doing
Amazing.
great.
Amazing.
Good.
Amazing summit going on.
And another question that probably nobody expects, but when lightning? I'm sorry, I had to ask.
It's every time. I mean, it's every time the same question when we are talking about bringing in technologies which Bitcoiners like. I mean, everyone here on the table is quite known in Bitcoin, I would say. We are into it. We have a community which is also quite into it, and every time it comes, when lightning, hey guys, come on, this will bring us a lot of boost. And to be honest, we working on it. We make a lot of thoughts on it. Probably also from TechWise, Adam can then say some words. To be honest, if we want that easy as possible, it's not so easy to implement Lightning into the product. So those of you guys who are out there who are probably building your own Lightning nodes and owning your nodes, then you know a bit about the topic, about channel handling and all the stuff. And if you're talking to a newbie, where we also have some focus on, where we want to be the easiest app for Bitcoin investments, they have no clue about what it is. What should I do? Why should I open a channel to receive some Bitcoin? Just send me the stuff over, and then it's done. So we surely have this on the plate. We know that our community is looking toward to it. When we will have it, but like I would say, no date to be confirmed.
Not yet. I mean, it's as you say, we are an app for newbies mostly. I mean, for the Bitcoin community obviously as well, but most of our users are actually people who want to get into Bitcoin finally, and with us, with Relay, get really an easy access, and that's our main goal. Obviously, we're very happy to serve the Bitcoin community as well, and that's a very integral part of it, because you guys are, bringing a lot of people into this space, which is amazing. We want to support that, but our main vision, our main goal is to make things simple. For as you said, for the Bitcoin freaks out there, Lightning would be great, Taproot would be great, but to be honest, 90% of the people that are using our app, or 90% of the people out there who will be using the app at one point, they have no idea what Taproot is. They have no idea what Lightning is. They slowly but steadily start to learn about Bitcoin, but they don't get very simple concepts yet about what is the private key, for example, or how are you handling the seed? Why do you need to write down these 12 words? And just yesterday, I talked about Benjamin, about one support request we had where someone wanted to change the password. They wanted to change the seed. Why do I need to know 12 words? Can I just use my password that I use everywhere else with my Google account, for example? These are the questions that we get. So Lightning is light years away from these people, and we see it as our mission to get these people into Bitcoin. So for example, also this hoodie, it says Stack Sats. Most of the people I hang out with in my private life, they have no idea what sats are. Like, with Stack what? Like, it's another population that we are. Our target audience is a different one, and you always have to make trade-offs. But maybe Adam, can you talk a little bit more about why is it so maybe complicated, or what is the challenges to implement Lightning? Why can we not do it like this in a sprint?
Sure, with pleasure. I'm first suspecting Arsen to lead a Lightning lobby, so the question is coming from him. No, I'm kidding. But technically speaking, there are a few challenges. So, I mean, ideally, we would like to bring Lightning to all of our users in a super easy way. I mean, we want to, it's not something we don't want to, and we've been working on Lightning, at least thinking and discussing a lot with big Bitcoiners in the Lightning, I mean with the core Lightning team even, and to get as much as we can. I mean, we're really into it. It's just, technically speaking, we are a non-custodial wallet. In terms of progress, Lightning works really, really well if you're custodial. It makes completely sense. But for us, we also need to keep in mind what Lightning is made for. We really want to push forward the auto DCA kind of strategy that we really believe in. And Lightning is also interesting in terms of speed, but then you also need to make sure that the liquidity is flowing in and out, and you need to have something active there. But technically speaking, the main challenges are not running a node, they are not opening a channels, but they are obviously on the end user side where we want to have our users have control of everything, of their Bitcoin wallet, and obviously Lightning as well. And Lightning gets a bit tricky when we want to keep it in a non-custodial way. So this is the biggest challenge without moving to obviously liquidity, how big the channel you open, how frequently you open channels. So and we would like to implement everything in our app. So having the app Lightning ready is not difficult by itself, but it's more a few more technical challenges that we are actually talking about a lot with Julian, with Alain, like frequently, just to see where we are going and listening to the community, obviously.
So one Lightning?
We need the date here.
There was no clear, there was no clear answer.
There was no clear answer.
Everybody zoned out here.
We need to give a date, yeah? No?
A rough ETA.
Soon.
2022, okay, soon, yeah, okay, let's make it soon.
All right.
2022.
Next one.
Also, you talked about that newbies don't care, but do you think it's also our job to kind of educate them about Lightning along the way as a Bitcoin company?
I think so, for sure. I mean, it's a very important to educate about Bitcoin, and then Lightning will be at one point a topic, obviously. So we talk about Lightning, for example, with guests on the podcast. We obviously write, Alex wrote a couple of blog posts about it. We are talking in our community chats a lot about this topic. So I think education in general is very important, but we need to start where the user starts. And most users start with, what is Bitcoin? Why should I buy Bitcoin and not Shiba Inu, for example? You know, these are first questions that are probably a bit more important, and then at one point down the line, people will understand more or learn more about private keys, about why it's important to be open source and decentral, and all these kinds of stuff. And then at one point, scaling, and with it Lightning and Liquid and RGB and all these more complicated things will pop up. And in the end, the goal would be that everyone makes this journey from what is Bitcoin and why is it better than other cryptocurrencies to, okay, I fully understand Bitcoin and I know I can now be responsible for my own funds and stuff. But this journey can take 3 months for some, and it can take 10 years for others. So, and we need to start somewhere, and I don't think we need to necessarily start with the complicated stuff like Lightning. And maybe at one point, a lot of people will use Lightning without even knowing. They will use Bitcoin and Lightning without even knowing that they are. They just want to save. They are on a savings plan. They don't even necessarily know what they are using. It's like I'm on a car driving from A to B. I don't even necessarily know what kind of brands are the parts of the engine from. So stuff like that. That's how I see it.
Yeah, with a lot of inventions, like people don't even know how it works in the background. They just care that it works. And I think it's going to be the same for Lightning. It's just going to be somewhere in the back end, and they see a pretty interface, which just works.
Yeah.
And you need to.
I mean that's the key. So if we want to be like a user-focused app, then we should make it as easy as possible. I mean, just go into the car and drive it. I mean, yeah, you need to learn how to drive, but it doesn't matter about which car then you drive if you know how to drive, and that's a good way to look at it. So if we can bring it to the people that they can surely learn in a couple of simple ways and simple steps how to drive Lightning, basically, then we would surely go for it. That's absolutely clear. Yeah.
Most people don't know how the internet works, and they use it every day.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Definitely. And should we switch topics? I have a question from Trilo, who is actually our ambassador. So, How long has everyone been in the Bitcoin space? Do you guys want to share?
Interesting. Who was the first?
Who was the earliest? Yeah.
Who was the earliest?
Who was the earliest? 211.
I think Piers.
212.
No, 2018.
18. Okay. Who was before?
I would guess Julian is one of the old. Or Adam.
Yeah.
Arsen?
No. 2017.
2017. Top.
I was holding my bags for a long time, but you know, paid off.
I mean, when you went into the game?
I mean, first time I heard about it and I was trying it out and bought some was 2015.
Yeah.
But not really getting into it seriously until beginning 2017.
Yeah, then you're probably the earliest, probably. I would
Imo?
say.
No, Imo.
2017, and I worked since 2018 at Bitpanda.
So we're all pretty young
Early 70s.
in the Bitcoin years.
Yeah.
New coiners.
Well, we did, if you start in 2017, you did one cycle, so you're a veteran now.
Oh yeah.
That's survived. So
We all survived.
And still in the
if
first
you're still
decade.
interested in it, then you made it.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times Bitcoin dead since then?
Died, yeah, many times. And if you think about it on the long run, you're still in the first decade of this thing.
That's
If you imagine you're in the first decade of the internet, then you would be
Yeah.
joining the internet in the mid-90s or something,
Mhm.
which would be fucking crazy.
So we'll beat that out.
So I have a question from Twitter. So what prompted you to create Relai? So I guess it's a question for Julian and Adam. And how do you plan to improve it in the future? And that they definitely want a hoodie that says Stack Sats. So what made you guys create it? I mean, I've heard the story, but maybe you can share it here.
I think the story is all over podcasts and stuff. I would be interested also maybe from the perspective of Adam. I mean, I can share obviously our compliment as well, but maybe you go first.
Yeah. I mean, Julian convinced me. I mean, let's be honest. And he had the idea. I was at the time also independent and doing some blockchain mobile projects. So I am sorry, I was into some kind of other coins that we cannot say the word here. But I really believed in the power of the mobile platform to bring this technology, the time chain, to the users. Like really, because I never believed in mass adoption without having an easy way to use cryptocurrencies, any kind of cryptocurrencies at the time. And when Julian came in with the idea, I wasn't really, like, I didn't know if it would work out completely, because this was a very, very niche. And in the end, I also learned along the way that niche is the way to go. And I'm super happy we did it. And it was relatively simple. It was just we met on a Telegram channel, the Swiss Bitcoin Association Telegram channel, and I just introduced myself, and then we started chatting a bit, and then we met. We did a hackathon, and then we met again for lunch. We ate sushi.
Great sushi.
Yeah, really good sushi, by the way. We met a few times, but like the real kickoff was April the 1st. 2020.
Mm. But the idea was somewhere end of 2018.
From you, yes.
Yeah, we had quite a long time to figure things out, and we were still completely into our other projects, and it was kind of more a hobby for a long time, actually for like a year or something. And then only then we took it really seriously. And I think the same way how kind of I might have convinced you about the idea, you convinced me to put it on mobile, because the first experiences or the first baby steps that we did was all PWA. It was all a web app at the beginning.
Correct.
So and then only you actually convinced. We already had a web app. There was another developer who helped me back then, and he built a quite nice just web app. And we have a lot of them now. But it worked, and we had first test customers, and we were always exchanging, and you always said, I'm not going to join if it's a web app.
Yeah.
I don't believe it's going to be big if it's a
Yes.
web app, and I don't believe that this is the way to onboard all of the rest of 99% of the people who are not into Bitcoin
Yeah.
yet.
Yeah.
And that was my big intention. So why I started Relai is because I was sick of hearing all the people, how can I get into Bitcoin easily? And there was no solution. In fact, I mean, even now it's still with the Relai as it is now. It really has been a lot easier, but still it's not for everyone. It's still not as easy as it should be. But back then, end of 2018, really, if people asked me, how can I get easily into Bitcoin within a couple of minutes, I was like, yeah, no, we need to sit down there. This is a big of a more complicated project. Usually it takes like 2-3 weeks, and you have to create different accounts on exchanges, register, get verified, upload documents, blah blah blah, and so all that kind of stuff that we now we're able to. This whole 2-3 week process we will be able to put in 1 minute. Directly from the smartphone, and that's why it was so crucial, because everybody has a smartphone, everyone knows how to deal with apps, and I think so. That was the main motivation. A, the conviction that Bitcoin is the best savings technology and that we really need it, and that everyone needs to have access to it, and B, to make it as simple as possible for everybody via smartphone app. So that was like the second big component that was very important. And so now we got together, and as you said, 1st of April was kind of the kickoff, because that's when we finally, after like more than 1 year, managed to raise 20K in funding, so that Adam could really, out of the kind of PWA first steps experiments, the first proof of concept, we could take that and take 3 months into a dark room, just hacking the shit out of these 2 platforms, so we could then release it to the 2 platforms, Google Play Store and Apple Store, and that's how it started.
So how old is the Relai baby? Do we count from the day we launched, which was July 2020, or because a lot of people don't know how much grinding there was before that?
Yeah,
like
it's
hacking
actually
in the dark room, like what Adam likes to do.
But for the age, I like to take this as the age. It's not the real age, but why? We launched July the 3rd on the App Store. July the 3rd it was live, and my wife gave birth to our son on June the 27th. So I like to keep it this way. So I know how old he is. I know Relai is at the same age. I mean, it's older. Relai is older, to be honest. But I like to put it this way.
So this is your firstborn.
No, 27th and then July the 3rd. So there's a few days in between.
Let's just say it took more than 9 months to bring Relai to the world.
Yeah, it was different for Relai. Yeah, it's a different.
it was really different.
Yeah, the parents are also a bit different.
Yeah.
Different kind of family.
Yeah, but it's true what you say. There was a lot of grind. Actually, where we are at now, we had 2 phases which are equal long. 1.5 years that we are live, but 1.5 years that preceded this.
Yeah, true.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So you could also say it's a 3. The idea, let's say, is 3 years old. The product is 1.5 years old. Actually, the company is only a bit more than 1 year old, because we only founded the actual company in October. So we were live for 3-4 months without actually having a company. It was pretty
Freestyle.
freestyle.
What was what took the longest to launch? Because it wasn't the tech part, because you created the app in like a couple of months.
Yeah, 2 months and a half. About
So
that. Yeah.
why did it take 1.5 years before the real launch?
I think it was the personal decision from the 2 of us to actually jump and do our own thing, because we were in other projects, in other jobs, we were making quite okay money in Switzerland, so there was no obvious reason to jump and do our own thing. And that decision took very long. I mean, it was a hobby for a long time, and we knew it could not continue like that. If it's supposed to be big, we cannot do it as a 10 or 20% job. We would need to go all in full time, but that also means that you take a huge risk and you have a huge opportunity cost here in Switzerland. Earning, I earned like 4 or 5 grand with a 60% job, and to give this up is just to go to a full-time job where you don't earn anything for a couple of months, which was the case.
Yeah.
And in the end, I took this risk. We took this risk, and we were dead broke.
Yeah.
And we had the app live, but we were dead broke. I was behind my tax payments, you know. And you had a baby.
Yeah.
And we actually, yeah, you know, we got some small financial support as well from people who are close to the project, but this was really for us personally to survive, basically. So it was a huge risk. That took a very long time to get this, you know, this commitment. Actually, okay, it's going to work, and we actually didn't know whether or not it's going to work until. I would say we raised the second round. Like once we then raised the 200K in October, and we were able to build a company out of this and hire the first people, then we kind of knew, okay, it's really going to the right direction. Then we felt good because we could also pay salary and everything. But this time before it was very hard, and we knew it's going to be hard. So for 1 year, 1.5 years before, it was kind of a back and forth whether or not we should do it. And we had like job offers. I know I had a job offer where I could get like 10K a month, and so for a 26-year-old, it was quite good. Yeah. And so I had to, yeah, we all had to make hard decisions.
I have 2 questions. One is that explains the name, so why Relai? And the other question is, what other names have you considered?
Oh, good question. I don't really know.
I don't know if you had. I mean, you came with the name. I don't know if you had any other
Just
options.
the first name that came to mind. Or did you have any other options?
We thought about like other names, especially some names with Bitcoin in it, you know. So, but then we kind of decided it should not be something descriptive like Bitcoin. Should be a fantasy name, because you never know where things gonna, you know, I don't know where things gonna develop. So we thought it should be a fantasy name. And Relai, we thought it's funny because a relay in kind of the electrical industry is taking a lot of small electrical signals and bundle them and make one big signal out of it. At least that's how I, as a very amateur guy in electrical science, understands it. And so with Relai, the idea was to get an opportunity to people to invest very, very small amounts on a regular basis, like $10 a week, for example, and then make a big saving out of it. Kind of the basic idea, but open for other suggestions, or yeah, you know, we can even change the name if we don't like it. Yeah, good.
Yeah, I can ask on Twitter, like, what should be our next name?
Yeah, no, but don't you? It'll be interesting. I'm sure there will pop up some better ones. The problem is we now actually copyrighted it. So it took like half a year to get the brand registered, and yeah, let's run with it.
We should keep it.
I like the name, but there is no consensus on how to pronounce it. We all pronounce it differently.
What are the different options we have?
Well, Adam, you wanna?
I'm gonna say the real one. The proper one is relais.
Come on.
It's a French word.
Stop it.
It's written in French, and yeah, I mean, you should say relais.
No, relais is with an S at the end.
If it's plural.
Okay,
Are we
next.
plural?
I think we should say relay, but you know, up to debate.
Me too.
And I have a question from Chris on YouTube. Who are your target customers? So who are we trying to reach with this product? Anybody wants to?
I can answer that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we have 3 audiences. Obviously, the Bitcoiners, people who already want to buy Bitcoin, but that actually, at least in my opinion, not where the majority of our customers, and not where we'll be earning our money. But I think it's important to get the Bitcoiners on our side, because I'm sure if you're into Bitcoin for a while, you talk to friends about Bitcoin and you want them to get into Bitcoin, and it's quite difficult to sort of recommend them an easy enough solution. If you go on any of the shitcoin casinos, you know, you need to register, you need to log in, you need to verify yourself, then you need to deposit the money there, and then you open it and there's like hundreds of assets, and then okay, so it might have a search functionality, so you type in Bitcoin, and then you have Bitcoin, Bitcoin Gold, Bitcoin Diamond, Bitcoin Cash, BSV, and all these you know. And it can be very confusing because actually somebody who has no idea about the space, for them it's like, but it's Bitcoin and it's cheaper. So I would obviously buy the cheaper thing, and then I have Bitcoin, and they have no idea that, you know, they've been scammed, basically, essentially. So that's why the Bitcoiners would be important for us, so they can recommend it to their friends. It's a very easy solution where you cannot really go wrong with buying Bitcoin, and it's also super easy to onboard, and you don't need to register, and you can just straight away go and buy. Then we have two other audiences. One is, and this is where all the growth will go. We refer to them as digital natives or millennials, also Gen Z. So these are the people who, you know, they have been born into the world of internet, or at least they spend most of their life in the digital world. So they have a very good understanding of you know, the potential that Bitcoin can have, and most likely they already use some neobanks for their banking. They don't really like the traditional world of finance and the traditional way of just anything working, and this is where the growth will come from. And then the final one is what we call boomers, and these don't actually have to be people, just boomers in a sense of the age, but it's also just people who have zero clue. Literally people who do not know anything about, you know, fintech, about Bitcoin, about nothing. They want to spend their money somewhere. They want to invest it either because they have, you know, lots of savings, or because, you know, they're just curious. But those are the two outliers. The big growth will come from the middle one. I don't know if this answers the question, but that's who we're targeting.
I'm happy with the answer.
And also, actually, our app is not really set up for Bitcoiners because they would want some more advanced features. They want to have, you know, some things that immediately would scare off the newbies. If you would include them there, then they're like, oh, this is too much for me. I'm not sure what I'm doing. So if you want simplicity, you always sort of it's always a trade-off. You can have something very simple, but then maybe some people might not like that because it's not advanced enough. But if you do something advanced, it will scare off the people looking for simplicity. And the growth will come from the people looking after simplicity.
Yeah. Do you guys want to add something to that? Oh, good. So I have a question from Circa Money. How many transactions are made with Bitcoin in Switzerland per year? I'm not sure if we can answer this, but do you guys have any idea?
How would you know that?
I mean, in general with Bitcoin,
I mean,
per year.
How would you even know that?
That's the beauty of Bitcoin.
A lot.
You don't know. And I have a old question from Guillermo, who's actually on our podcast, and who's going to actually join us in January. And does pineapple go on pizza?
That's one for Maurizio.
Yeah, we have an Italian in the team, so I think he should.
I mean, it's obvious that I have to say no. After you.
I mean, I like all food, so I'm good with that. Then I have a question about KYC. So when will we enable the users to buy bigger amounts with KYC?
Yeah, I mean, that's probably a good question from my side. We know when we announce it, and the goal is to have it as fast as possible. But, you know, we had quite a hard time last 6 weeks, and unfortunately our developers go on holiday. You know, we'll be probably a bit late to it. Yeah, Piyush? No, just joking. I mean, we know that's quite a demand on user side. We know it's important, so we are quite advanced in the whole concept, on the whole legal part. It was a lot of discussion how we have to do it. Yeah, to really be set up on the safe side and to serve the customer also with a solution who will work and who also we work out for our company as on a legal perspective. And yeah, I'm quite looking forward to end of December, January to see that in the app that users can go and really do the KYC straightly forward as easy as possible. So we try also to be there. Going fast, iterating it as we will do with the current app. as well of the current services, and that's also how we want to build the KYC part. So looking forward to that by the end of the year, starting January, to being able to do KYC on the app.
That's awesome, because it's very important also because from the legal side we have new guidelines from starting from 1st of January 2022. We actually cannot do 1K per day and 100K per year anymore, but 1K per month and 12K per year subsequently. So obviously the need for to do KYC will be even higher, because people obviously want to have more volumes. That's nothing we can decide. It's with this whole legal these limits are obviously out of our control, and they're coming more and more. Even in Switzerland, the regulators are bending more and more to European standards. So that's why these limits, KYC less limits, they will never go away. That's the good news. But the bad news is they will decrease. So 2019, no, actually up until end of 2020, it was 5K per day that you could actually. So we had quite some first users who just put 5K per day in at the beginning. But then it decreased to 1K per day and 100K per year, 2021, and now in 2022, unfortunately, it's going to be 1K per month. So more and more people. I mean, still quite okay for a lot of our investors. So most of the people that use Relai, like I think 70-80% are actually below 1K per month. So for them, still going to be fine, no KYC. But for those who are now kind of screaming for KYC, obviously we understand that. And as said, I think beginning of January we should be ready.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, putting in 1,000 francs into Bitcoin every month is still a big bunch.
It's a good start.
Yeah, it doesn't matter where you come from, but yeah. So I mean, it's also good, but I also can see the drive of the people we have, and they put probably less than these limits into accounts every month or every week, so just small amounts. But if they think that the time is right to putting in more, they want to be able to do that, and that's one we also want to serve. Yeah, but going back to the speed of integration, I mean, Jose has a flight back to LA. Don't know how many hours, but design will probably prepared until the end of vacation. Then going out of the flight in LA, then we will be ready to ship it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
And how do you see this regulatory environment changing in the future? Because obviously they keep pushing the limits down. And do you think this no KYC thing, do you think it's going to last, or is it going to change?
Yeah, I think because we are in Switzerland, and that's kind of the big advantage that we have, and that's also why a lot of Bitcoin companies who want to offer similar services are coming to Switzerland, is that Switzerland is not in the EU, right? In the EU, so Germany and France and all the others, they have the principle of the legal system, or the KYC, AML focused, is really, it starts from zero. So there's no transaction that exchanges fiat to another asset, be it Bitcoin or be it gold or be it whatever. That is no KYC. This doesn't exist in other jurisdictions. In Switzerland it does, because in Switzerland there are these risk limits. They change, and I'm sure they will go down. They will go down even more than 1K per month. It could be even like, I don't know, $10 maybe per day or something like that. I mean, could be anything. So they will go down, but I don't think they will necessarily. There will be no limit, but because that would require a change in like the approach of how Switzerland regulates these things, and I think that would be a huge change. So we don't expect that for the next couple of years. We expect for this limit to maybe go down, but this is not going down from today to tomorrow. It's these changes take 1 or 2 years, 1 year at least. So we should be fine again for 2022 with these limits, and then let's see. Or maybe Maurizio, do you have anything to complement from like the legal side? Or?
No, what you said is already complete. I mean, there's no real visibility about where we are going to. We only can hope that they remain reasonable, that they see that there is a need or a demand for possibility to do transactions without KYC, not only from a let's say personal view, but also for the operation. I mean, all the other institutions, not only Bitcoins are having these limits, but also others. If you go to a shop and want to buy something in cash, also these limits are coming further down, which is okay on one side, but on the other side there's still a need for those limits to be in place, so that will not disappear completely.
That's interesting.
Also, something that came to mind, talking about the features, is I mean, we're all about stacking sats, and there's a lot of people who want to stack for their kids or their parents, but so the question is, are we going to enable like multiple accounts, so you can like do a weekly savings plan for the kids, maybe for your elderly parents, and you? Is there a
Yeah, probably can step in there. So we had, so as in the Relai team gathering, we had quite a good workshop. You all know, guys, we're sitting at the table, so fantastic that everyone brings ideas. I mean, community brings ideas. You guys out there say, hey, why you can't not add that? It would be quite cool. And then we say, oh yeah, why not? Let's talk about it. How we can integrate it, how we can bring it to life. And also, yeah, like I started yesterday, good workshop into the team, talking about possibilities, how we could integrate it, what actually does make sense, and how we could serve the user for their needs, that they can stack some sats. Probably Adam is requesting it since a year
and a half.
A year and a half that he can stack sats for his son. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it, to 2021. It's on our roadmap to being able to serve that need. So stacking sats for your kids or whoever you like.
Very bullish. I'm bullish on you, Alain. Guys, do we have a startup documentary in progress? And if not, this guy wants to talk about it. We're planning on doing a Relai documentary at some point.
Not yet, but you can get in touch. Sure.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Let's get in touch.
Oh, pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see Twitter. And well, here's a bit tricky question. And he would like each one of us to answer, but maybe we will not have time. But what is Bitcoin for you, and why did you enter this world? So maybe we can do like a round, but like a couple of minutes.
Just really 10 seconds per person.
10 seconds. Yeah, I mean, fundamentally, I think money is broken and savings is broken, and Bitcoin fixes it. So that was my pitch. 10 seconds.
Yeah, I think that's what we can all agree on. Like euro, dollar, the money printing, especially now in those COVID times that we live in, we see how fundamentally broken the system is, and Bitcoin is hope. It's hope for people who want to protect their purchasing power, who want to protect their money, and not just see it decreasing day by day. But if you stack some sats, just enjoy the pleasure of seeing it increase, and be sure in the future that Bitcoin is the technology of the future. It's a future of money. So that's why I joined, and support the cause.
I mean, already in Austrian economist schools, so in the 20s, 30s, and even later, they started to say that we need to have an independent, not national currency, and I'm pretty convinced that Bitcoin could be this one, which helps to avoid all these problems which are coming up, which we are seeing now, influenced by the central banks and the politics behind. And that's the main reason, I would say, that we should believe in. At least there's a valuable reason why Bitcoin exists and should be there.
Yeah, I believe this is a very good saving technology with built-in deflation. So what else is needed for the
number go up?
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I think the more you think about Bitcoin, the deeper the rabbit hole goes, and the more positive implications for all kinds of facets of life and society and culture and civilization are there. So there are too many to list, but I think just the possibility for everybody around the world, no matter under which regime, no matter in which kind of economic system they live, the possibility for everybody to save from tiny amounts and be able to save their economic value in this pristine asset, and have the same benefits as any billionaire who decides to put their entire corporate balance sheet into Bitcoin. Yeah, so Bitcoin is hope. Yeah.
Well said. Yeah. Just the orange pill. When you get in, you just go deeper. You cannot get out. You're not supposed to get out. I'll just 2 keywords for me: freedom and self-sovereignty. Just being able to really be free and feel free. And I won't say I'm in for the tech, because this is what other people say, but basically the fact that it's just the perfect machine. I mean, I was just, the first time I read the white paper, I was already in it, and I'm in it for the long term, and again, freedom and self-sovereignty, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, it's everything that has been said before. I think it's an opportunity to get out of the hamster wheel that we are trapped in, either by our lack of knowledge or by design, and that's another discussion, whether the lack of education about investing and money is by lack of effort or by design. So it helps you to really get out of it, and I think that the potential is amazing, and it's also freedom, and it is also hope. For me personally, it's all of these things, and it's also my job. I only wanted to work in a Bitcoin-only company, and it's also, memes and Lambos.
For me personally, I have a lot to learn more about Bitcoin, but I have all the proof I need right here. I think these guys speak for themselves that Bitcoin is the future of currency.
Yeah, so also me as the Bitcoin master of this group. No, I'm also on the learning curve, but I feel like it's also for me a safe place, so a place to save, but also a safe place to save.
Wow, yeah, that was nice. Word, nice. Safe place to save. Yeah. So Bitcoin for me is the best savings technology that we have ever invented. It's if you look at it, it's better than gold, it's better than stocks, it's better than bonds, it's better than real estate, it's better than any other assets, especially better than any other crypto asset. Why is it better? Because it's the only asset that is actually scarce. It's actually fixed. There are only 21 million. There's not going to be more, and it's the only one that is independent from governments, independent from central banks, independent from banks, independent from nations. And it's decentralized, so nobody can take it away, as we said, self-sovereignty. So it has the perfect the positioning to be the best savings technology, and why would you put your money anywhere else than in the best savings technology? And also, it's from a technology point of view, from a financial system point of view, from a societal point of view, just the most exciting project in the 21st century to work on. So why would you work on something that is boring? Because this is the most fucking exciting, dynamic space you can be in.
Amen.
That's true. Yeah, absolutely. That's also why I'm in. I mean, I could really understand each one would talk about. I mean, getting back the control over their own finance. I mean, that's a big part. So you also said it well. Bringing back everyone to have the same possibility. Everyone is at the same level. So everyone can put their phone out, get the Relai download. Hopefully soon, but still, at least in Europe. Yeah, no, that's basically why I believe in that. Beside all the other mentions, I will not repeat it. So I think Piyush can add some.
Yeah,
more
I mean,
stuff.
for me, it's the only example in history which proved that you can distribute control, and it's verifiable. So yeah, that's the thing for me.
Yeah, the most is said. There are huge opportunities for the whole world. Yeah, let's see.
So yeah, if I can sum up, basically Bitcoin is hope, as our dear friend, very close friend Michael Saylor says. So it's hope for the world. It's alternative money. I mean, beautiful answers, everybody. A question from Simon Balls.
What's his name?
he's our advisor, so it should be nice. So, what is your favorite way to save money for the future? Wrong answers only.
NFT.
Shiba Inu.
I would say fiat.
Like the car? Fiat.
Yeah, the value of fiat goes down as soon as you buy it.
Wrong answers only. Put it into a bank account. Savings plan in a bank.
Yeah, it's like with when we had to decide where to put like our money. Like there were not a lot of options, and like negative interest rate accounts. I think that'd be pretty bad. Yeah, looking at you.
Yeah, the best way to save is just to take fiat money, put it on the bank account, and then profits from the fees, from the inflation and the negative interest rates. That's
Yeah,
Makes all
I
sense.
agree.
Or just burn it.
Might as well just
So
burn it.
let's
Yeah.
put it under your pillow.
Yeah.
I would like to hear what it's like to be a CFO of a Bitcoin startup, coming from traditional finance. Like, what kind of obstacles have you seen, like taking care of our money?
The obstacles I have seen is the big resistance within the general old financial finance world to support startups. Thinking especially about banks. They claim to be open-minded and supportive of new ideas, and when you then knock on the door and say you want to have a simple bank account, generally they close immediately before even having to listen to you. Others listen to you and close the door afterwards, so it's very difficult. And I don't know where the fear is coming from, because we are now member of VQF, so we need to follow the rules. We need to make sure stay within the FINMA regulations. So what's the fear they have? And that was the biggest hurdles I've seen, and I think that needs to change within the whole financial world. Not sure how fast it will happen.
Do you have hope?
Absolutely. Otherwise, if they are not opening up, the new fintech industry will for sure find alternative solutions.
Yeah.
And fast.
Yeah.
And then
Too late. Game over.
Have fun staying poor.
So are we gonna buy Bitcoin at some point?
Sorry?
Are we gonna buy Bitcoin at some point?
Sorry?
Absolutely, as a company for sure. I mean, there's no doubt. The question is, at the moment, there's a pure risk point of view that we are due to pay salaries and everything in Swiss francs, and hence there is a volatility which could be risky for you in the short term. Long term, there's absolutely no problem, I would say, to invest a certain part into bitcoins.
We're already earning bitcoins and holding bitcoins, but we are raising and spending fiat. So that's basically our concept, right? We raise from investors, we raise money. They usually want to pay in fiat, and as Maurizio said, we need to spend fiat for tax bills, for other invoices, agencies, whatever, and especially salaries. So we raise and spend fiat, and fiat is fine for that. But we try to earn the revenue that we earn from fees. For example, we earn that in Bitcoin, and we hold it in Bitcoin for the long run. So the money that we don't immediately need for our spending, we tend to put it into Bitcoin. I think that's the strategy. We don't need to be too extreme. I mean, sometimes my intention was when we raise the funds, my intention would be to put at least half of it or even all of it into Bitcoin. But that's maybe too extreme. So it's good to have people that are are adult.
I mean, not exchange the fiat currency into Bitcoin does not mean that you don't believe in Bitcoins.
Yeah.
It's simply due to risk management thoughts, and as Julian said, you have costs in fiat currency which you need to bring up. That's the only reason. But as you said, for long term,
I mean, spend fiat and save in Bitcoin.
Yeah.
That's a winning strategy, I think.
yeah.
Arsene, we are running out of time, so we have time for one last question. Is there a question?
Not live questions, but a question I received previously would be like kind of like what's the grand vision of Relay? Like, where do you want to be in, I don't know, say 4 or 5 years? And,
So the vision stays the same. You know, I think it's important to have a very the vision needs to be set in stone. Everything else is changing. Like who is working on the project and what ways do we go, what licenses do we take, all that kind of what product features do we build around to support this, you know, all the stuff that you do, how we market it, how we build it, and how you know, legal and finance and all that kind of this is all gonna change all the time. But the vision needs to be set in stone, and it's the same. It was the same last year. It's gonna be the same for the next 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, and it's to make Bitcoin accessible to everybody worldwide. And that's what we try to do, and we will support. You know, every department will support, and we will all grow this together. And obviously it will involve a big development of our whole offering as a company, of the different products, of the way we communicate things. But the ideal kind of vision that we want to achieve is that everybody in the world has a very easy access to Bitcoin and has some Bitcoins in his pocket.
I mean, can't really add anything to that. Okay, I guess we're running out of time, so back to work. Back to work, guys.
Or drinks.
Thanks for the questions.
We just work, we never drink.
Okay. Yeah, so thanks guys. Thanks for tuning in, for listening. Thank you guys all to be here. It's really amazing to see you all at one table. I feel like Jesus with my. No, it was really fun. It's really fun to hang out with you guys. Fun to hang out with you guys at home or wherever you are listening. Yeah, keep connected via our channels and whatever. Thank you very much for your support, and keep stacking.
Yes.
Yes.